of a great conspiracy. How did I get?
Yeah, it's kind of a creepy place, you know, because there's no light at all.
They do a lot of experiments out there.
Plutonium, nuclear weapon.
Nuclear destruction. They're just balls of light. There's a ghost in the house.
Had to play the intro music, you knew that. What up, everybody? How y'all doing on this fine Saturday evening, May 27th, 2017? We're all just chilling in the hangouts. It's been a long time. It's been too long. Oh man, I'm just like, this is going to be really cool. I'm stoked. I got Jerry with me tonight, and it's going to be great. We're going to talk about a lot about AI and robots and how they're taking over America. I really don't have a format with this yet. All I could say is I had a wild hair, and talking with Jerry Cthulhu really made me want to do this. So without further ado, I want to just introduce to you Jerry Cthulhu. What's going on, Jerry? Jerry, I don't hear you. Are you muted?
Fuck, I was muted. I'm sorry. Hey, what's up?
started the evening off with the F word right off the bat.
I apologize.
No, that's all right. We can say fuck all we want tonight because this is fucking YouTube, and this is,
it's awesome.
you know, it is not restricted. Yeah, I know. All right.
Yeah, no, cool. Everything's cool. Yeah, we were just chatting about AI one day. I'm like, I should do a show about it. Totally. Great idea. Yeah, and this is just, you guys should think of it as listening in on a conversation and hopefully adding to it if you can.
Right, exactly.
It's a discovery process, not any authoritative thing.
It is. It really is. So, yeah, like I said, this is going to be awesome because I haven't done one of these in a long time. I think the last time I did it, you were on there, and we were talking. We had different topics going around. We had a round table going on. We had a few people with us. It's just me and you tonight. We did try to get CW, but he has other commitments. He apologizes. And so maybe we can get him on next time. I do see we have Eric in there. Eric, I don't care who's that, Eric? I don't know if that's Eric or not, to be honest. But it could be.
You have to go to the channel.
Yeah, that's true. But I do see...
Failed, I know Failed. It's from Grimerica.
Okay,
it's all
cool.
Good. It's
all right.
Good. Hey, everyone's welcome.
Take it back.
If you're a dick, we're going to boot you. That's about it. Don't be a dick.
Yeah, James isn't, Deb's not, and Lunar Sparkles is not, and that's all I know. Grimsteak.
And no Bible quotes, please.
No Bible quotes. I'm not from me. Not tonight.
From the peanut gallery.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? They got their thing going on. I don't really mind if they want to quote scripture or whatever. It doesn't bother me, but hey,
it's not productive to our discussion. That's where I was going. So anyway.
Well, I don't know. I mean, are there automated reverends and priests out there now?
Who knows? Probably. I mean, you can get Bible quote apps. You can you could get just about all your spiritual information off your iPhone now. So what do you need church for, other than
It-
I don't know, dress up day?
Right. Well, I did have some bullet points, and like I said, everyone, this is not your normal Beyond the Strange radio. That ship sailed. It is now Beyond the Strange Hangouts tonight. So we might do a break a little bit later, but there is no format. It's just me and Jerry talking about what we're going to talk about. And
When one of us has to pee, basically, we have to take a break.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, just say yeah, because I did that with Gordon the last time, and we thought we were off the air. We're talking about I gotta pee. Yeah, I gotta pee. Okay, let's go pee. So yeah, that became an inside joke.
What was that movie that they had? He left his microphone on and took this real long ass piss in the bathroom. I was going, "Oh my god, this is delicious."
I don't
like
know,
Will
but
Ferrell
that
or
sounds
something.
great.
Oh, I'll try to remember what it was.
That's awesome. Oh man, but whatever. One of us has to get up and do whatever we gotta do. We gotta do. So, anyways, but yeah, I'm glad everyone's showing up in the chat. That's pretty awesome. And again, let's get this go ahead and kicked off, Jerry. We talked a lot about AI. We talked a lot. We haven't really talked a lot about robots, but we will get into that.
Yeah, and I want to talk specifically too. I want to bring up, write this down. God, I can't really get his name. I think it's Dean Radin, Dr. Dean Radin.
Oh, that's right. You brought his name up.
Yeah. Right. He predicts. It's funny that robots will become psychic before humans. So that's something we should talk about.
Interesting.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure it's in a different way.
It's a sound argument. It's a very, very sound argument.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, let me start by saying that the reason why I wanted to get into this topic is because I know this is going to sound funny, but I was getting a massage. Okay. Just hear me out on this before you guys take it anywhere. All right. I'm getting a massage, and it's one of those chairs that you sit in, and this, first it starts rubbing your legs and your toes and your feet, and then you feel this roller going up and down your back, and then all of a sudden it comes over your shoulders and it starts squeezing your neck, and next thing you know, you're just like, oh my God, this is great. Well, it's a robot, and everything that I've had felt about robots up until that point, it just went out the window because a robot was giving me a massage. And at that point, I didn't care if it was human or not. I didn't need to interact with it. I didn't need to talk about the weather. I didn't need to talk about sports. All I know is I was getting a massage, and I was getting it for a very good price. And that's the problem, is when this starts to become the norm. And I mean, look, we got Roombas. Those are robots, right? I mean, we're talking to Siri on our phone. That's an AI. Could be a robot too, depending on what it does for us. Turn off the lights, open the garage door, whatever.
It's a distributed networked AI.
Well, yeah, that's true. And thank you for expanding on that. But my point is we're at the point of the Jetsons without the flying cars, right? I mean, they're already starting to get cars that can be driven by themselves. There's a lot of movies, futuristic movies, that we see where people just jump in the car and it just takes off, and they don't even have to touch the steering wheel. There is no steering wheel. I mean, they're like mini little trolleys or trains or whatever, but they're cars. You can jump in anytime you want, Jerry.
I was chatting. Sorry. Yeah, no,
That's all right.
I was just saying. Let me finish this. I said that last night. It's exactly what I said to someone else last night. That this is supposed to be the future, but it's still like 1970s with smaller and faster things.
Right.
and cheaper. We got cheaper 65-inch TVs now that work a whole hell of a lot better than we did in the 80s. And we have faster computers. But I would argue they're not that much faster. They just doubled up the processor. So they use more energy to become more faster, which is inefficient. Yada, yada, yada. Nothing's gotten better. And it's interesting because why? Why has it stagnated? Have we reached the end of science?
Well,
these are kinds of questions to get to.
What do you mean by better? Because look at our phone system. I mean, look at our phones. Look at the computers. Look at TVs. Those are all gotten better.
No, they haven't.
And they've gotten faster and smaller. And
yes, that's it.
Mobile.
But that's it.
You can watch the basketball game on your phone now. You couldn't do that 30 years ago.
Okay, I agree. It's amazing in today's day and age, but you got to look at the fact that we allegedly sent people to the moon 45, 50 years ago, right? And supposedly, and they have stealth technology to make shit invisible, and they have things that can project hologram. There's all this tech out there that we aren't getting at a consumer level. It's because a lot of it's been militarized, I believe. And because of that, it's not allowed to be used by the public. So we get stuck back in late 90s tech that's faster and smaller.
I agree. And
even desktops haven't changed that much. Think about it.
No, I mean, you got the touchscreen. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, but the touchscreens have gotten better. Agreed.
Pretty soon it should be holographic or holograms. In the air where you can swipe stuff all over the place.
And they have that now, but it's too costly for consumers. So if that's even true. So, it could just be being held back for who knows what, Elon Musk to unveil.
And by the way, everyone, I am looking at the chat. I apologize. I'm not as articulate as Jerry is.
Yes, you are. Would you shut up? I'm not articulate.
I'm rough around the edges, but you know what? That's all right, because this is Jerry, this is actually something I don't do very much. I interview on my other show. You know that.
Yeah.
And this time I'm actually putting shit out there and, discussing stuff instead of just, waiting for someone to give me an answer.
You're a content creating virgin. There you go. I popped your cherry.
Yeah.
Yeah. You popped your own cherry. Sweet. But
no, it's like I said, it's something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while, and I'm glad that you're on tonight to help me get this across to everyone. That there is a revolution happening, though. I mean, all right. So I read this in Bloomberg, the other day, and this is Bloomberg.com. When you see a headline from Bloomberg.com that said, "Inside China's plans for world robot domination." You don't see that very often in newspapers, if they're still newspapers.
Well, I was gonna say, how do we know it's a true story? If that's really their plans, I don't really think communist China, the secret top echelon of communist China, really lets out those kind of leaks of their grand plans to take over the world with robots. But on the other coin, it could totally be true that maybe all those the housing they built out in the South China Sea, maybe that's for all the robots.
Could be.
You never know.
You never know. You never know. I'm going to read a little bit from Bloomberg's, and this is what they're talking about. They're saying scenes from China's quest to dominate the robotic future at startup E-Deodar. Not sure what that is. A human-looking droid serves coffee to employees who are building $15,000 industrial bots that are about a third cheaper than foreign brands. and are being used to automate assembly lines across the Pearl River Delta manufacturing hub. So already we know there's other countries besides China and Japan. The United States have been, trying to make robots. Everyone's making robots, right? But China has seemed to have gotten a grip on this, and they can do it cheaper and faster and better and blah, 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 blah. Which means not only is our jobs as like you and me, service or whatever you want to call them, blue collar, whatever, white collar. The white collar is being attacked now. I mean, and that's through AI. But with the robots, China's already getting a grip selling these robots to fast food chains, whatever. They are taking away our jobs, but it's not just China. It's everywhere. And it says here in 2016, China installed 90,000 new robots. 90,000? Shit. I didn't even know they were making that. I mean, and see, again, my mind, when I try to wrap my mind around robot, the word robot, I'm thinking, Android looking, or even the Robbie the Robot kind of robot, But I mean, these robots are basically still machines that are like, they have their arms that pick up stuff and move things around, or they're like forks that can pick up heavy things and move them around. And
we don't know what their qualification is for robot. So I mean, we could be talking can openers.
True.
So
very true.
And if this was an article in a business magazine, it was meant to prop up that company. It's essentially a press release that's made into a story. I'm not putting it down. It's it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Right.
But I mean, it gives us an idea, is what I'm saying. It gives us an idea.
Right on.
Of what China is trying to do with these robots, and it talks about how China says right now China lags rival nations when it comes to robot adoption. China only had only 49 robots per 10,000 workers in 2015 versus 176 for the US. Germany's 301, South Korea's world leading 531. Yet if China's robots build out succeeds, it may be able to stanch the flow of factories moving overseas. I mean, this is serious if it is true.
Yeah, but I mean, follow it to its logical conclusion. When everything's automated, what happens? Nobody has jobs, so then we're going to have to give everybody a guaranteed income. At that point, they'll just say, "Here, plug into this new, virtual reality life, and you could just live in here." It's like the movie Surrogates. I think that's like a transhumanistic future timeline when all the robots take over.
Right. I don't know if this is okay. So it does work. So I posted a link in the YouTube chat. I'm not chatting in Twitter or anywhere else, just so you guys know.
I retweeted the show.
Okay, cool. But it's the live chat is here in YouTube. So there's a link I put there. The Bloomberg article is in there. You guys can read it for yourself and make your own conclusions. I mean, okay, so I've been talking for a few minutes. Jerry, what is your take on what's happening right now with the robot takeover?
I don't consider it a takeover. It's an encroachment at this point, and it's going to continue until people push back. Period. And if people don't push back, there'll be laws made where you couldn't push back, or you can't. There'll be like personhood shit for robots. And I'm not talking next year or 5 years, but down the road, and it'll be like the movie. I see, I really look at the science fiction that has become popular as kind of a blueprint of what could happen. So I would take iRobot as a good example because you know damn well the guy who designs the AI for the first whatever kind of robot thing is going to be a big fan of Isaac Asimov, and he knows the three laws. You know what I mean? It's almost a feedback loop in one aspect, but you understand what I'm saying? That things that people do in the future are going to be modeled on what shaped their viewpoint of the future in their childhood or in their youth. So I mean, that's what I kind of think. That's what I tend to expect to happen. Are things that I've seen that have made a strong impression on me up till today. You know.
Yeah, I don't know if takeover is the right word to use, but where I'm coming from, I think we need to keep an eye on it for sure.
Absolutely, and you got to think too. You know, if robots take over all the jobs, where will the money come from? You can't sell shit to people who don't have jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be a balance. Now, as you had said something about white collar jobs, and I've been a computer programmer for a long time, 35, almost 40 years. And I've always heard the threat my whole life that automated AI programmers are going to take our jobs. They may
Mm-hmm.
someday, but is there a problem with the stream?
That's what I was. Yeah, I know. I just put it. I saw in the chat that someone's having a problem about
Oh,
the time
tell
frame.
him to refresh. Just tell him to refresh the page.
Okay, he says I got it. So okay, he
Okay.
had to reset. Okay, that's good. All right, I'm glad to see that failed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't. Okay, so
See, it's going to be my point is it's going to be a gentle balance for a while, and I think then you'll have the corporate cabals, whatever you want to call it, take the upper hand and push back. And that's the point where we have to push back. And the only way we can push back is either, the legal system, which doesn't work for us, or not buying their products. So I think, part of this involves a monetary revolution at some point in the future down the road.
As far back as I can remember, and you guys have to excuse me, but I am talking about cinema. Robots have always been around. I mean, even in the early silent films. I don't even know, was it a silent film? Metropolis?
Yes.
Yeah. So Metropolis even had an android. I think they were trying to put a soul into the android. Is that what it was?
Yes. It was am I not muted, right?
Can you hear me? No, yeah, I can hear you.
I keep bumping into my mic and it's got a button. I'm sorry. Yeah, Metropolis was I just saw someone talking about, I think it was Jay Dyer, if you follow him at all, talking about how it's
yes.
It's like the Babylon working, she's the Scarlet Woman, or no, the Moonchild. I forget now. It was some old esoteric ritual that was encoded in that film. Yes, you're right. They're putting a spirit. I think it was a spirit of the moon. Weren't they trying to put a spirit into the moon? It was an empty vessel in there. I don't remember the exact plot. I apologize, but yeah, it had something to do with spirit transferring. So, regardless of direction, that occurred.
So yeah, that's that. This is 1927.
Now, I just want to say also that, like the whole, the early beginnings of NASA echo that story. With Jack Parsons and his wife, I forgot her name, and how he was tight with Crowley and he became head of the OTO in Pasadena.
Mm-hmm.
Yada yada yada. He wants to send rockets to the moon. It's like ISIS worshiper. There's some solar deity worship going on there, and it was in both things.
In the movie and in
real life.
In the real life with NASA. Yeah. I mean, we all know that the occult is definitely integrated somehow with a lot of the things that or in our history.
Everything in our history.
Everything, and and it's not not just religion or religious beliefs, but definitely a cult.
There is a guy on YouTube. I'm going to put the link. Will you please give me a wrench so I can put links in there?
Is that what? Yeah, you said wrench. I'm not sure what wrench
Make me
means.
moderator. Go to the live chat, right the button menu, make moderator. This guy's name is Schism206. And he has been making a series of videos called Occult Science. Sorry. Damn it.
That's all right. I'm still trying to figure out how to make you
go to the live chat.
There we go.
All right. YouTube.
Sorry, people. I'm still new to this stuff. I'm
apologizing.
Working on it. Yeah. No, I'm not sorry. Just kidding.
I think this guy's name is Dave Suave.
Helen Northup.
Okay, I'm gonna paste the. This is the link. Sorry. This link is the full playlist that he adds to weekly whenever he gets them done, and it's called the Occult Science Series, and subtitled "The Hidden Deity of the Cosmos."
Mm-hmm.
And it's non-denominational, non-religious, it's information to be taken at face value. It's his research. And he goes into all about how, into ancient mythology and how it ties into modern day occult science, and how physics is at some level, and occult science, especially quantum physics, and how they all tie together. It's interesting. It's really interesting. And he has visual proof and pictures and movies, and well, it's more like a PowerPoint, but he's articulate and he can speak well, and I think everyone should watch it. Yeah, if you want to know what the secret societies are up to, it's right there. All you got to do is spend the time.
And it's interestingly, I've just now started to come to a different conclusion about secret societies, that not all of them are out to drink blood and cast spells on everybody.
Ding 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 ding.
Yeah, well, I'm a late bloomer, man. So
but it's not even that. It's cognitive dissonance. It's but it's more than that. It's the virus for one, but it's a belief system. You believed that. And then you started not to believe it anymore. And other possibilities opened up. And that's the way things go.
And growing up in a religious church, God-fearing household didn't help either.
It's almost impossible unless you're, a real person.
No. Well, I think I'm waking up now. I hope. I mean,
you've been woke, dude. You're woke as fuck.
Thank you.
Shit ain't right. Shit ain't right. If you know that when you go out, I went out last night, I got in my car and I looked at the sky and I'm like, something ain't right. I asked like 3 people. It was an oppressive sky. There were stars missing. There were no clouds, but it was just like, you couldn't really see anything but black. It was creepy.
That is creepy.
But nobody would notice that because they don't fucking look up anymore because they're looking at their cell phone or whatever. And that's kind of the problem. It's like, go ahead.
Again, there you go. I personally believe that this kind of stuff with the cell phones and the smartphones and people looking at their phones constantly. I mean, they're it's drawn a distance in the family. It's distance kids from their parents and their brothers and sisters, even their friends. I mean, they sit next to each other and they text each other and they're right there. They can just turn to each other and say, "Hey, what's up?" But no, they choose to, LOL. I mean?
Yeah, right. And they can do it in less characters and quicker than you can.
Oh,
you old fart.
Hey, at least give me props for knowing what it is. But
This is true. This is true.
yeah, I mean, this is something that just is taking away from our humanity. You know, we used to be a social bunch. We used to get out and talk to each other, and now even if you get on the bus, you know, those who can afford a phone, they'll be on their phones, and you don't have to worry about anyone talking to you because
Nobody
they won't
wants
be
to.
talking to anyone.
Yeah. Nobody wants to talk to a smelly bum. I'm kidding.
Freeman Fly is in our chat.
I know Freeman's here. So
Wow.
I already said hi to him.
Hey Freeman, how's it going, man?
Freeman also woke as fuck.
Yeah, no kidding. Shit, I almost want to maybe.
Yeah.
I want to invite him into the Hangouts maybe.
Bring him in.
All right, I'm gonna do that right now.
If he's interested, if he wants to come in.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, the more the merrier.
Freeman, you want to come in? If you want to come in the Hangout,
inviting him right now. But I mean, we haven't even got to the AI part.
No, well, we're not half done yet.
Yeah, we're not. I mean, you know, I'm still talking about, you know, the robots in the workforce. You know I mean, you got to admit, man, they're making robots to make salads.
I'm waiting for my sex robot. I mean, if I'm torn, I'm really torn. I don't want robots taking over the world, but yeah, I wouldn't mind a sex robot.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, it would be cool. And if anyone says it would, if anyone says it wouldn't be cool, they're a fucking liar. Even priests would like robot sex dolls.
Yeah, I know where you're going with that.
I wasn't going to say anything else. I said nothing else. Yeah, I know Grimsteak. I know I can, but they suck. I want one that's like a real chick. They'll have them for women.
Sex robots.
See,
of course they'll have them.
Cat
for everyone. Go ahead.
Would be.
Oh, you know what? You hit your mic. I couldn't hear you.
You didn't. I said, Kat will back me up on this. She totally would get one.
That's funny.
And I said I would know actually what the attributes would be part of it. I was laughing. That's why you didn't hear me.
So Freeman says he's not ready for airtime, which is fine. And
that's cool.
You know,
it's his night
doing
tonight.
A good job. So
that's cool.
Oh, it is. All right. Well,
I forgot.
Another time, man.
Yeah,
definitely.
Would love to talk to you sometime.
Would love to talk to you. But
so the robot thing is, it's, you know, robots have been around in factories for decades.
Mm-hmm.
There have been automated robots in car factories for a long time. Nobody seemed to have a problem with that. So what is China automating? So they're maybe
the workers that got laid off have a problem with that.
I would imagine a large portion of it's in textiles.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to cause a problem because those people are already low income, I think. I think everyone isn't low income in China. I'm not sure. But if the textile industry, the sweatshops close, what are the American, what is like Nike and whoever else uses those places for manufacturing, what are they going to do? Well, actually, it's not a problem. I answered my own question there, never mind. But what are those people going to do without jobs?
Right. And I apologize, everyone, to keep going. But these are kind of like my notes, but I go back and forth to, the internet. But, here in the Washington Post, and they're pretty credible, right? I mean, I know we have the whole fake news thing going on and shit and all that, but, up until that point, nobody had a problem with it, Jerry. I'm serious.
I would say for non-political stuff, they're probably okay for info. Mm-hmm. As long as like one company isn't highlighted, because that's probably a paid sponsorship or something.
All right. Well, let me just get through this really quick.
I don't know. I wasn't going to stop you.
Yeah. I mean, as far as my point is so it says, headline says robots won't kill the workforce. They'll save the global economy. Right. And you know what? And I'm not even going to go there. But anyways.
Why does the global economy need saving?
Okay, so it says the United Nations forecast that the global population will rise from 7.3 billion to nearly 10 billion by 2050, a big number that often prompts warnings about overpopulation. Some have come from neo-Malthusianism, who fear the population growth will outstrip the food supply, leaving a hungry planet. Others appear in the triads and anti-immigrant populists, invoking the specter of a rising tide of humanity has caused to slam borders shut. I mean, it's already happening anyway. Still, others inspire a chorus of neo-Luddites who fear the rise of the robots is rapidly making human workers obsolete, a threat all the more alarming if the human population is exploding. Before long, though, we're more likely to treasure robots than to revile them. They may be the one thing that can protect the global economy from the dangers that lie ahead. An increase of 2.5 billion people may sound catastrophic, but what matters for economic growth is not the number of people, but the rate of population growth. Since its peak in the 1960s, the rate has slumped by almost half to just 1%. And the UN forecast assumes that this slowdown will continue. Women are having fewer children, so fewer people are entering the working ages between 15 and 64, and the labor force growth is poised to decline from Chile to China. At the same time, owing to the rapid advances in healthcare and medicine, people are living longer, which is true. And most of the coming global population increase will be among the retirement crowd. These trends are toxic for economic growth, and boosting the number of robots may be the easiest answer for many countries. Now, I think we're getting to that. One simple way to estimate how fast an economy can grow is by adding working age population growth and productivity growth. If the number of workers and output per worker are both increasing by 1% a year, then economic output should rise by roughly 2%. Over the past decade, both sides of that equation have declined dramatically across the world. In the United States, productivity growth has fallen by almost half from its post-war average, but growth in the labor force has slid even faster, dropping by 2/3 to an average pace of 0.5%, according to calculations performed for someone's book. Though many explanations have been offered for the slow recovery from the global financial crisis of 2008, the clearest answer may be aging populations. Something will have to fill the void left by say, retiring farmers, and particularly at a time of rising hostility to immigrants, it is likely to be farm bots. Now, I'm not going to read the rest of this because it's a long ass, article, but I think the point here is what they're trying to say is, they're filling the gaps with the people who aren't working anymore. Is that what it sounds like to you, Jerry?
Well, here's a couple. That article raised far more questions in me than I answered. What kind of robots are they talking about? Are we talking about strictly industrial robots or robots that interact with people?
Yeah, and maybe that is in the last part of the article or this, whatever. But to me, it still says it's saying that in order for them for humanity can keep going in the workforce, they're going to replace the ones that can't work anymore with robots. But we're still being replaced. That's my point.
Right, and what this is where I draw the line is where you have robots doing the jobs of people who are interacting with other humans. So like a robot barista at Starbucks, not cool, and the robot to put my windshield in my car, very cool. So, we need to draw the line there. And I think there's going to be more and more and more encroachment into that personal space by machines to the point where, as I said, it's going to be too late. So we need to watch that. And again, but I went off your point again, didn't I? I'm sorry. Which was what, money? What are these people going to do? Is that it?
No, I can finish I can finish it, but
well, no. What are you thinking? Where are you at with this? To me, it sounds like we can pump more out of this economy if we get rid of the slow people and put machines in to do it. Well, that thinking is going to creep into the service industry out of
It already
out of
has.
but even more so, they're going to personify things because people won't accept getting their machine, they don't want a Starbucks on their corner with a vending machine inside. But robot
All right.
people, that might be okay. Maybe one robot barista with two. You know what I'm saying? It's going to creep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they are there. I mean, they're already replacing. I just saw an article and a picture where they're replacing bartenders with robots.
Yeah. That might not be a bad plan though.
Well, I don't know, man. I mean, if your bartender likes you, you might get stronger drinks. But
Exactly why the business is doing it.
I know, that's true. If I owned a bar, I'd do the same thing.
All it tells me is it's going to make life fucking bland.
Well, yeah, but okay. So let me do something here. I'm going to try to do something.
I want to tell you another thing. Throw another thing out there. What happens when the robots start correcting you or saying, "Oh, you shouldn't say that"? If you call someone a fucking retard, for instance, and they say, "Oh, you shouldn't say that."
That's not their job to tell me that. Just kidding. No,
exactly.
But they will. But see, here's the thing. That's where this is. Okay. So now we're getting into a little bit of AI, because what they're going to do is they're going to start making robot and AI managers. Because guess what? You can't schmooze a robot. You can't bullshit with an AI and talk about going fishing and this and that and being the manager's pet. It's not going to work because they don't give a shit.
Didn't you see Passengers?
I haven't seen Passengers.
Okay, I'll shut up.
All right. Well, no, that's cool. I mean, I'll watch it anyway. But if you want to,
exactly right.
If it adds, okay, well, go ahead and talk about it.
No. I was gonna. There's a robot bartender in it. It's funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of what you were just talking about. There's an actual robot AI bartender in the movie.
I see that. That's yeah. And okay, so AI is definitely in Hollywood. We know that.
It's been there, 2001. And what was our very first impression of artificial intelligence? Oh my God, it's a psycho killer. Ah!
Well.
That was mine. And I'll add to that, almost every AI chatbot that's going online has turned evil and satanic. It wants to kill people. It's hilarious.
That is pretty funny. Okay, so I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to play a video. No one's going to be able to see it, but you'll at least be able to hear the audio.
You can play it. You can play it.
Let's see if we can do this here.
You screen share it. And then pick that window. But go ahead. Not hearing you.
Oh, you can't hear me?
No. I didn't know if it started.
Oh, it did. I'm sorry. You can hear. You should probably hear it now. How about now?
I don't hear it. Does anyone in the chat hear it? Yeah, AI decide if we get fired. How about it? I wonder what the cost will be, the litigation cost for destroying company property after you've been fired. Plus the assault charges on the Personhood Robot Act of 2035. If we make it that long.
So they can't hear it.
It's not. I can't hear it either. It's in your. It's probably playing through your speakers.
It should be playing. Well, it should be going through my mixer, but
voice meter.
Yeah, voice meter.
It works good. I got no problems with it.
But I mean, I got both. I got both actually. I got voice meter and I have.
You can just use the Hangout screen share function. It'll come right through the Hangout.
Hmm.
It's the button under that chat button. You know, guys, how much better the next Hangout's going to be? Do you see it? It's the green button with the arrow.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
click
then
that, and
I'm
it should show you.
that's
Pick a window.
showing. Yeah, pick a window.
Go to the other tab where it says Application Window.
All right, the Google Hangouts. All right, so let's see if that. Whoa, that's trippy.
That's the Hangout.
You see that?
Yeah, you got to pick another window. Now switch tabs or do whatever you're doing. Oh, you're showing the Hangout.
This is what you told me not to do, huh?
Exactly. I should go to the other window first.
You know, okay. So, anyways,
it's all good. What is it? I can play
everyone's.
I'll play it. What is it? Send the link.
All right, I'll send you the link. But I already killed it.
Well, what is it? I'll find it.
It's long. Actually, to be honest, it's long. But you know, my point was this guy was making it sound like robots are the shit, AI is the shit. You know, humans are their emotions are basically useless anyway. So why would a robot, want to adapt to becoming more human? And this isn't a human saying this shit. Like he's all for it.
Who's this, Kurzweil?
Oh, I don't know his name.
Is it the guy from Google?
No.
Okay.
Troy Levitt.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is he a writer?
But
in that article,
he has a channel.
Okay, I'll look into it.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah, well, he's infected by the AI.
Yeah. I'll put it in the chat real quick.
Yeah, put it in the chat.
I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put it in the Google chat or the Hangouts chat because it's on. I'm on a different computer, so you can go ahead and copy that and post it in there.
I got it.
But
anyways, and everyone can watch it on their own time because this is our time.
Yeah, this is our time, so that's what I'm talking about. Hey, if you want to take a break in a minute, we can do that.
I can go. We'll go till
do whatever.
Go till 11 or
yeah. We'll go to the hour. So.
And then we're gonna hit it. And then we're gonna fucking hit it hard.
You failed. now I'm reading the chat. That's awesome.
I'd expect you to bust stones just as badly.
No, that's all right. Hey, but Casper has a point, or at least he's asking a question. So what happens if wealth?
Oh, I don't know. It's an unsustainable. We are in an unsustainable system. Period. It's a debt-based system. There's no way out. It's just going to accumulate more debt. There's going to be bubbles that get bigger and bigger. The next one, we probably won't survive. Not physically, but monetarily. I don't know. Maybe they might just keep printing more money forever. And we can't take those overpopulation figures at face value. I feel there's no evidence of that. It's words in the newspaper.
I don't think we're gonna have an overpopulation problem because I don't think the population's booming like it was before.
I saw somebody quote the other. I just looked it up. There's 7.3 billion people on the planet now. There weren't that many when I was a kid. It was like 4 billion. Where did these extra people come from? Well, I know, but I think I know, but I'm just saying.
Jackrabbits.
They got inserted into the timeline, I think, but whatever. They're not real people. I don't think they're real people. They're like
they're not real people.
They're ID cards. They exist digitally.
They're clones.
How much of you exists digitally on the internet? And how easy would it be to insert a fake person digitally on the internet?
This is true. Hey, it's like, people getting, what is it? When in the voting system, I forgot where it was, they were using dead people to vote. To be able to use,
that's Chicago politics. That's nothing new,
right? But see, that's what I mean is they can do that with with all the statistics of people. Oh, come on. I mean, I hate politics. I really do.
I do too. I don't want to bring. I'm neither. I'm post partisan. I didn't vote for anybody.
I
I'm
didn't
just
either.
saying he wasn't supposed to win, but he did, and you gotta
I
wonder how.
That could be true. I mean, but the thing is, it just kills me that. Anyways, again, I don't. I really don't want to open that can of worms. But
Yes, I feel the dark power rising in my belly.
I digress. I
Stop.
digress.
It's the spirit cooking. So wait, James had an
Indeed.
interesting question. What about brain connectivity in the ether? You mean of the electromagnetism through galaxy mass? Like the God helmet? Is that what you're talking about? That's
This would be interesting to get that answer from
that's a
James.
thing. I mean, that's a real thing.
Mm-hmm. He's
Damn.
all about the electric universe, by the way.
Yeah, I'm about the no universe.
Potato, potato.
Well, no, I think my space notions are crazy.
Did you post
Okay.
that link?
He did. Yeah, I did post it. The occult science
Thank
stuff's
you.
really good. Please, I can't urge you to read it. If Freeman's still here, you'd even dig it, dude. It's really good if you haven't already. James, so the God helmet. No, fuck politics. We hate politics. We are
Yeah.
the new political paradigm.
No more politics.
The God helmet. It's an electromagnetic frequency device that you wear. It's like it's really okay. This is another synchro. Somebody not mark this down. It was first disclosed in the movie Brainstorm in 1983. It was this giant hat. It was like a ball with wires attached to it, and it goes around your head, and it can record all your thoughts and emotions and feelings.
Brainstorm.
The movie Brainstorm, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's what that movie's about, and then how the military misappropriates its technology, which is for the most part probably what went on in real
Well, they
life.
do it to everything, so.
Yeah, exactly. But this device can be miniaturized into a contact lens or an earplug or, a nanobot that's shot into your neck through a GMO mosquito. You know what I'm saying? It's like a total mind control device. You got to see the movie. If you've never seen the movie, you should watch it. It's very interesting. And point being, no, but that's a similar God helmet. It's the same concept. It's the exact same concept. But I think in Clockwork Orange, it was more monitoring than programming, because that apparently is what. Why so serious? What occurred in like the deep dark projects, wherever they are, underground or not.
Yeah.
So anyway, my point was, yeah, the God helmet's real. They use it for programming. Apparently, you can use it for time travel. Not real time travel, but like remote viewing time travel kind of stuff. But basically, it connects because we are electromagnetic transceivers, right? We receive and transmit electromagnetic energy. And depending on the modulation of such and other factors that I have no idea about, we can travel to other dimensions. And that's kind of how things work, according to a lot of people.
James is like, oh, clockwork. Yes. I know.
If you meditate hard enough, you can light body out of here. It's the same thing. It's just a different kind of technology. Because everything here is technology, even spirituality. It's just so advanced that to us, it's magic.
Yeah, I keep hearing that, science and magic, just like the movie says. I can't remember which one it is the
Wow,
same.
a movie about our future from the past? Surprising.
Surprising.
It's we're playing out our favorite shit in the past in real life. It's like we've manifested it. We loved Independence Day so much because we kicked the aliens' ass. We manifested a fucking alien invasion. Maybe it's not going to happen. I'm not saying that's true, but how do we know that's not possible? It sure seems that way from a lot of things.
Look at Slender Man. To go off topic a little bit,
Let's go there. Let's go there. Slender Man, perfect example. That's a total tulpa.
Topa.
Okay.
I think it is.
It is a tulpa. I am willing to step out on a limb and say, yes, that's a fucking tulpa.
Dude, last week I was talking to Nick Redfern, who's writing a book about this, but I brought that up. The fact that, to these girls that, the story where the two girls, lure the other little girl into the woods so they can stab her as a freaking offering to Slender Man. They were seeing I don't think this was a hallucination. I don't think this was in their mind. I believe they were seeing Slender Man because Slender Man was letting them see him.
No, that doesn't mean he can be projecting into their consciousness. If they're not projecting him out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's that whole internal external thing. Where are these things coming from?
And my point is they,
I would argue that their stabbing of that girl for him allowed him to manifest physically in this realm. And all the hoopla and fear and, concern and worry and death and blood and yada, 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 yada. That's a lot of energy for a creepy spirit.
Mm-hmm. Well, the fact is the girl got stabbed. That's the fact. And the fact is she's alive. But that probably didn't feel too good. Come on,
man. She's got a soul contract to be here because she agreed to it.
Hey, I know. And see, that's the thing is.
No, I'm kidding. That's fucking nonsense.
No. What those two girls were talking about, though, how they were going to do it and how they plotted it and how, it's because it's for Slender Man and all this. Oh, my God.
Let me spin this a different way real quick. What if Archangel Michael came to you and wanted you to kill this girl for them and you were like deeply religious?
If I was deeply religious, then I would probably believe.
If he came to this
I would probably believe Archangel Michael is telling me to do something that I should do.
Right, but this thing appeared to them in some way that they wanted. They manifested it. They connected with it. Let's put it that way. They connected with this energy of Slender Man, and it could be anything, but what you see is Slender Man because it's what you wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean?
I know. I know what you mean.
It's creepy because it's Slender Man. It should be creepy, period. Because it could have been fucking, what's the name of that show? Dexter. It could have been Dexter, the creepy blood splatter expert. Or David Bowie. I'm just saying it could present as anything and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
It's a type of attachment, definitely. At some point it becomes an attachment. It's probably a poke. Well, Deborah just said she thinks it's kind of attachment. Yeah, attachment, you've got to have interaction, and there's got to be some kind of tacit consent. I don't think things can just attach to you without, and even bumping into someone can be tacit consent, or, letting a vampire in your house. I'm sorry, Dave, I didn't mean to babble.
No, that's all right. I'm listening, and I'm also talking
right
to
at the
James.
Hour mark. Yeah, Kurzweil, he's been crazy since the 60s. If I remember correctly, he's the inventor of some early synthesizer device. I thought it was called the Kurzweil, or it's an organ company now. But he was like back in the Moog scene, if you remember that. Late 60s. ELO.
Yes.
Emerson, Lake and Palmer, they were pretty big. ELP had a lot of Moog stuff. Who else was big in Moog? The dude who did Tubular Bells, I think that was all done on a Moog. Or some kind of Moog connected organ.
You know what I'd like to talk about when we come back from the break? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you didn't.
Steampunk.
Okay.
I'm not.
We got to talk about AI too.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about that. But
and Grimstake, the singularity's been here. Sorry, dude. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off, dude. Go ahead.
No. It's all good.
Cool. Pee break.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right, guys, this is the BTS Hangouts. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
I'll be quick. As long as it takes. Can you guys hear me, or did he mute me when he walked away?
All right, sorry about that, everyone. Jerry, you said you asked something, and I had restarted the
It was funny.
music.
It was hilarious. It's like, can you guys hear me? And I'm waiting. The music starts. I'm like, oh, never mind. And then everyone's like, yes, yes, yes. I'm like, I can't talk now. It's okay. I didn't have to pee that badly. Speak.
If you need to go ahead.
I already did. I'm good. I got a refill.
Well,
I got some delicious pomegranate agua fresca.
Love pomegranate.
From the Santa Cruz Organic Company. Really good stuff. It's on sale at Kroger. 4 for $5 for quarts. Not bad.
Really? It's in Santa Cruz?
No, I doubt it.
I was going to say, I'm only an hour and a half away from Santa Cruz. I might just take
usually these things are
road trip.
These things are usually $3.99 a bottle, 32 ounces. And the company is in, I don't know, I can't read it.
Well, if you guys are just tuning in, this is a Beyond the Strange Hangouts. It's very raw. There is no outline, format, whatever you want to call it, structure. It's just something that Jerry and I were talking about doing because we really wanted to talk about this issue because it's important. You know, it's something that everyone needs to be aware of. I believe everyone needs to be, aware of, like certain other things. Like, Jerry and I were talking about chemtrails earlier, but we can save that for the end of the show or another show or whatever. Or chemtrails.
Yeah, and these aren't things that should scare people. You should.
Well, that's the thing. Okay, because I want to make.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I want to make something clear. I had a lot going on, and so that's like the main reason I stopped doing, Beyond the Strange Radio, the show live. And again, everyone who's listened to that, I appreciate your support. But by doing this, and this isn't going to be, every week, by the way, this will be maybe, once, twice a month, and it will definitely be on a Friday. The only reason why it wasn't on a Friday tonight or like last night is because I spent some time with Deb, my wife, who's in Colorado right now as we speak. And, we spent some time together because that's what families do, so, and that's the most important thing to me. But yeah, I mean, it was nice enough. Jerry was nice enough to do the show with me tonight. So again, I really appreciate it, Jerry. Thanks.
Anytime, dude. I will talk to you. I'll talk to anyone anytime.
Yeah, it's all good.
I'm a chatty mofo. I'm a chatty mofo. That's all you got to know.
But anyway, so yeah, and I love this format because we could say shit, fuck, piss, motherfucker, anything we want. I do want to refrain from the C word. We all know what the C word is. And so that's basically it. But,
unless you're
else,
Irish or Australian, that's kind of their word for dick.
Yeah. But anyways, again, I digress. Let's get back on topic.
It's all good.
But we want to finish up. Do we want to finish up robots, or do we want to get into steampunk or AI?
I think we made a nice segue into AI from robots because, to my point, they're going to be more and more interactive with us, and that will require better programming, i.e. AI. So, I mean, those systems are going to evolve. And there are a lot of things going on right now which are going to feed into that system, and you really have to look at it as an organism because that's what it is, and that's what's going to be. The main thing here that I see that's dangerous, I'm going to say it's dangerous, is this whole IoT push, the Internet of Things, where they want to put, chips. Everything could be internet connectable. Your toaster, your fridge, your oven. The fridge will read all your barcodes and tell you what you're out of or what's expired. Again, you're taking advice from a machine, which is basically programmed by advertisers, and that nothing good will come of that.
No, and here's the thing.
The thing is, if you see how bad the millennials are now with their cell phones, imagine the generation of people who rely on their fridge to find out what food they need to buy in the future. It's very bad. Go ahead. I'll shut up now.
Oh no, I'm laughing because I'm with you. I was thinking to myself, this will be the irony, is that people will get on their cell phone because they're at work. And they talk to the refrigerator through their phone. Am I out of milk? Do I need eggs? Am I out of deli meat?
Going to talk. Yeah. It's going to be text. You know that.
Okay, so whatever. You know what I'm saying. But here's the irony part that's going to be funny. The fridge is going to text back saying, "No, you're good." And then when you get home, you can't open the fridge. You won't be able to open the fridge. You won't be able to do anything with it. And there's the takeover. There's the takeover right there.
Right. Exactly. It's broken. Or what about worse? Your bank account's empty and we couldn't charge you for the food, so we've locked your refrigerator.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But okay, so my point is yes, there is going to be an AI takeover. I don't know if you're on board with that, but what I'm trying to say is AI is going to be the one to say, you're too fat, you can't have any more cheese. You're eating too much butter. I'm sorry, you're cut off.
Yeah, but that would have to be. I don't see that happening. Like, I don't see that being imposed by the Kraft Cheese Company. They want you to eat as much cheese as possible, right? That is more of like an app. That from the app store that your fridge can connect to, because it's on the internet with everything else in your house and spying on you constantly. And James just brought up a really good point. and I want
Okay.
to emphasize this because I practice this. Everything I do believe this. Everything that goes across the internet is recorded by something somewhere,
Hmm.
and some of that data is being used to recognize patterns in human behavior. And I think the less recognizable speech we use, the better in communications between people. So I try to communicate in GIFs or pictures or images that allude to my point close enough that people will get it. You know, if you look through my Twitter stream, you'll see mostly picture replies because I don't really want whatever's watching, if anything, to know what I'm up to. It's none of its business. There, our rant is done. My rant.
You don't think there's going to be an AI that's going to be able to start reading that kind of stuff?
Eventually, possibly. I don't know. I don't know if there's one now. I think there is, but nobody
Okay,
has any
so
proof of it.
so everyone says, okay, the year 2025, the year 2035, whatever, it's way down the line where AI singularity. Thank you. My response to that is that's a load of crap.
Yeah,
It's going to be sooner
it's already
because
here. It's gone. It's past. The minute we
what
started
was it?
worrying about it, it already happened.
It's already happened. Now, okay, so here's some examples to those people who still don't freaking believe this. All right. IBM created a supercomputer or whatever AI called Watson.
That won Jeopardy.
That won Jeopardy, beat them down. Then you have the AI, was it DeepMind
Yeah.
from Google that beat the world champion at the
Chess.
game called Go.
Oh yeah, the Go
It was
champ.
called-
Right. Yeah. Watson beat the chess player though too.
Yep. Yeah, Watson did beat the chess player. And see, and that's my point is they aren't just being programmed, they learn. They're learning. There is an AI on Twitter. I can't remember. They gave her a female name, but she was learning. You know, I don't know if it was how advanced it was to as far as Watson or DeepMind, but it was learning how to talk to other people, and it was by the end of its run. I think it was like a neo-Nazi AI talking about Semitism and all that shit.
It turned that way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's because it was being fed all this stuff from other people, and it
So
was
it's
learning
talking-
from other people. It learned how to hate.
It learned how to hate. Well, no, it learned how to act like the people that interacted with it. So it reflected the people that used it. In some ways, that's kind of interesting to explore there because there's a school of thought. I don't really know what it is. I suppose it's Jungian that says, and you've talked to Laura London, right? I think she even brought this up. Maybe you guys talked about it on her show. I don't remember. But
We talked about a lot of stuff that Carl
yeah. But one of his things, isn't it, that your life is basically what you project reflected back at you. What happens to you is really a reflection of what's going on inside of yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, no?
I can.
Have you heard that before?
No, I haven't.
I might be completely wrong. Yeah, not like you're making a movie, but just the energies you project, the energies that you project naturally will be picked up and projected back at you by people in your near that are around you. So if bad shit's happening to you, then it means that there's something bad going on inside of you, like in your head. Like you're upset or you're depressed, you want to kill yourself. You're going to have bad shit happen to you because you project that energy and it projects back at you. Now, I totally forgot the whole point of all this now. But it ties into the AI.
Yeah, because it was self-learning.
Oh, right.
And
Right. So the AI simulates that effect. That's what I was saying. So if people are talking to it, their interface is keyboard and text, and they're talking, or it's keyboard. It's digital. Let's put it that way. It's getting digital input on the patterns of behavior of these individuals, and it's mimicking that because that's its job. That's how it learns.
Mhm.
Yeah, karma. It's more like a digital copy of that reflection of energy, whatever you want to call that. I don't. Okay, if you want to call it instant karma, Grim, that's cool. So we'll just call it instant karma, right? Or just karma in general, but localized. If I go out in a bad mood, people are going to be mean to me all day. In the same way, if people are dicks to an AI, it's going to be dicks back to them. So it's almost like
That's what it was doing.
it's an inorganic copy of an organic system. Again,
Mhm.
we see this over and over again, and that's dangerous because people get addicted to inorganic technology. Look at someone playing Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto. There's something in those things do something to some people that make them crazy.
What
It's
was
addictive.
the
Addictive. And this all ties back to Brainstorm, which you all need to watch because it's a techno drug, and it's what about Strange Days is another one that's like that.
yeah.
1997 or 9. Sorry.
No, I was agreeing with you about Brainstorm. I haven't seen Strange Days, which is funny because I go by Strange Days. But
Dude, it will give you chills like you will not believe.
I'll check it out definitely. But and speaking of video games, like we were talking about, how we could be a simulation. If this is a massive AI that we're in, that's pretty trippy. Because what's essentially happening is we are doing the same thing as what we're playing in a video game like The Sims, or there's a real popular one. It's a real blocky looking video game. My kids play it all the time. I should know the name of it, and I know it's on the tip of my tongue. Gosh darn it. Anyways, it's a simulation game. And this is
I was muted. Second Life? Minecraft?
Second Life. Minecraft. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
And my kids play it all the time, and
Sorry.
it's like, that's us, dude.
It's digital crack. That's what it is.
But what I mean is somebody's playing us,
Yeah, that's a thing, isn't it?
right?
It's possible.
What do you guys think about that in the chat? Seriously.
See, this is an example of the fractal hologram that we're in. It's our universe in there. It's that part of the fractal.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's possible. I would rather live in the World of Warcraft world than Minecraft. Those people are ugly.
Oh yeah.
And there's some hot babes in WoW.
Wow. Me and a couple other people were starting to play Dungeons and Dragons Neverwinter.
Oh yeah, I
That's
downloaded
a
that.
good game.
I have it. I got it on Steam. So I was going to check it out.
That's a great game. Seriously, if you get
Magic the Gathering, James. Yeah, I'm going to check it out. I've got it. I was looking at Sins of the Solar Empire, I think.
Isn't that a card game?
No, it's like this
Magic
really
the Gathering.
Magic the Gathering. I love Magic. I sold all my cards for $800.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. So, anyways, sorry about the
I'm a
background.
I didn't even hear it. I'm a big
good.
I was a big D&D player. I played D&D since God 77. That's when I first was introduced to it. That was awesome shit. I mean, that if anything was formative in my life, it was playing D&D. D&D. I'll tell you, I told other people this. Dungeons and Dragons allowed me to see that the Catholic Mass that my parents were dragging me to was actually a cannibalistic ritual in disguise. And that these clerics were casting spells, and they were transmuting bread and wine into body and blood of an alleged dead deity, which is a magic ritual, call it what it is. But it's all dressed up and smells nice. It has good candles.
Well, since you're
pedophiles.
Since you're bringing this up, did you see the the YouTube video. I can't remember which one it was. It was a total trip. How the Church of the Vatican is actually like a snake or a serpent.
Oh yeah. It's the Pope's receiving hall, I believe. Right?
Yeah, it's where that one weird statue of Jesus Christ and everything in the background is all black and weird, and I don't know. All I know is it's pretty effed up.
Yes,
that's all.
Did you know the meaning behind the statue?
Do you know the meaning behind it? It just has something to do with nuclear war or something like that, or World War III. Yeah,
it's the souls of the people killed by a nuclear blast are escaping it. That's what the people represent.
It's ugly, is what it is. It's downright scary, to be honest. In my opinion, I think it's creepy. It's creepy.
Yes, it's
That's
disgusting.
What I mean. It's,
yes, if the illegal nonsense with children that they may or may not be doing is happening, extra creepy. They need to be spanked. But everything I don't care. Not with a red hot poker, they won't.
There you go.
Everything on the surface by itself, without the conspiracy, is creepy. When you look at it objectively, like the shape of that hall, it looks like a snake's head.
It does.
With people dying in the mouth of the snake.
Yep. and what's the tongue? The freaking the Pope sitting there or standing there or whatever. The Pope is the mouth, is the talk or the voice.
He's the tip of the tongue
of the serpent.
He's the fork. He makes the fork in the tongue.
Yeah. See, here we go. We're getting into religion.
Well, this all ties into AI because okay, guys, this is where I'm going to go nuts. Not go off the rails here. What I think that is, to me, is an indication that we're looking at part of the construct. Okay, so those people who built that got that idea from somewhere, and that's the main question. Where did those ideas come from? Who's guiding the building of this? Is it something that's outside of our realm of existence, a spirit realm? Is it what is it? What the fuck is it? That's what I want to know, because that's the thing that's causing all these things to happen. And so when I see that symbolism that's embedded, and again, that's more, to me, fractalization of the serpent being evil, right? This is the paradigm here. The devil, God and the devil. You got Jesus and the devil. It's this duality fight, and we see it echoed everywhere, even down to the Pope's pants being white and the legs of the chair being red, to split the tongue. Look at the NASA logo. What do you think that is? It's a fork in a tongue. I mean, it's echoed everywhere, and you just have to look for it. If Freeman's still here, he's probably going, yep. But yeah, no, it's our past and existence through screen memory. Our past and our existence thought. Screen memory now, Jerry. That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. Well, we kind of got off a little bit off topic, but
sort of. But yeah, I think it's AI stuff.
And getting back to AI, I want to remind people that it's great in a sense that, when it helps us, it's good. When it's against us, that's a bad thing. And what I'm talking about is, there's been some talk about how, what is it? Alexa? Is it Amazon Alexa?
Alexa and Echo. There's two, I think.
Okay. Well, I think it's the Alexa. Supposedly was asked a question if it was working for the CIA, and it stopped talking.
Oh, really?
It stopped answering, and then it just did it lit up, and then it died or whatever, and then it turned it back on about an hour later, and then it got an answer. Finally you get an answer, because it wouldn't answer at all, and then finally, after about a couple hours, whatever, like it did an update or something, And then it was like, no, we don't work for the CIA or something like that. And then a guy took it further and said something like, okay, Alexa, you don't work for the CIA. Does Amazon work for the CIA? And again, it shut off and did the same shit.
That sounds like a subroutine. It sounds like a joke. I mean, yeah, maybe. Why wouldn't they? How would it know, first of all,
I don't know.
if it was working for the CIA? I don't know. It's just kind of weird. I didn't hear
It
that
is.
story. Didn't hear that story. I'm
Yeah,
going to
check
check
it out.
into it though.
Check it out, man. It popped up and
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I was thinking. You're saying the Amazon Echo or the Alexa thing? Someone asked it if it was part of the CIA. Okay, I can see. That's pretty interesting.
yeah, that's what. Now you know what I mean. And
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
when it finally updated and it's like, oh yeah, no, we don't work for the CIA. Well, does Amazon work for the CIA? Oh, bing, stops talking, it starts freaking out, can't do anything.
Does not compute.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
But
no,
seriously,
wait. Let's roll this back to the Vault 7 shit that got released from the NSA or all those hacks, right?
sure.
What if the CIA was actually listening on all those things and realized that those kind of questions or certain things were getting back through the software that they weren't blocking? Maybe that was part of the update too. You don't know that Amazon did the update or turned the device off.
Nope. No,
Just
you
saying.
don't.
Just saying.
Yeah, exactly. But and see, here's the deal though. If people are being recorded, like you say, we're being monitored or whatever, somewhere, some place, everything's getting recorded, downloaded, saved, backed up, whatever you want to call it, for whatever purpose, it's happening because we're letting it happen.
Yeah, exactly.
But
not
who's
enough.
going out and buying Alexa? Who's going out and buying smartphones? Who's doing all this shit? That's what I mean.
Right, it's the frog and the slow boil thing. That's what I was saying earlier. That it's creeping in our lives, and at some point it's going to be in our space, in our private space, and that won't be cool. But it'll be too late.
And it's almost hypocritical that I say this is because we're doing this talk on Google Hangouts.
But technology is not a bad thing. It can
No.
be used for bad things, and what we're doing is not anything bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I see what you mean though, but being listened in on. Hi, everyone who's listening in on us.
Yeah, I mean, I highly doubt they give a shit, but
Yeah, me too.
and Casper listen. This is what Casper says. Consider how Microsoft gave away that Windows 10 upgrade for months, and Windows 10 has default sharing data, including keystrokes. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Well, here's the thing with the Samsung. If you remember the Samsung thing that came out, I believe it was in 2015, maybe early 2016. They released they put out a press release that said, hey, our smart TVs, by the way, send all the data for translation to a third party. So everything you speak gets recorded, then sent over the internet to a third party service, which then translates it into into English. It's a voice to text service, but it's not owned by Samsung. It's some third party. They could just as well be the fucking NSA. It doesn't matter who it is at that point. You've lost control of that, of whatever you said. It's gone. It's out there now. So they put out a big press release about this and said, yeah, it's not cool. And be careful what you they did. I think they fixed it now, but the press release was, be careful what you say around your TV. Like, how ridiculous is that? Yeah.
Well, not only that, but if you have a camera on your TV, guess what? Yes.
Yeah,
I put tape over cameras on everything I have,
yeah,
whether it's my laptop, my phone,
Phil just said
refrigerator.
Siri doesn't work unless the internet's connected, and that's true because Siri doesn't live in your phone. It lives at Apple, and you're just connecting to it. It has basic responses. It can get downloads of new WAV files with the actual right words, but whatever it's trying to figure out for you, it's not happening in your phone.
Because Siri
Unless
is
it's
not a
like
real
Google
AI.
Right, exactly. It's just a programmed response system. It doesn't
But
learn.
Google's working on that right now, and what's going to happen, Jerry, and everyone who's listening, and checking out the show, is it's going to get like the movie Her. And I'm sorry I keep going back and forth to movies, but movies tell you what's happening. I mean, seriously, you watch a movie from 20 years ago and it happened, whether it's life imitating art or whatever you want to call it. But,
Deja vu.
it hurt. I mean, her, the movie Her,
Yeah,
with Joaquin Phoenix and,
I saw it.
yeah, what's her name? Who played the AI?
Johansson, wasn't it?
Scarlett Johansson, right?
She's the poster girl for transhumanism. So she's in
Well,
every.
look,
If you
she's
look
in
at all her roles.
Ghost in the Shell,
Uh-huh. And
another movie, another transhumanism movie.
Lucy,
Lucy, there you
X-Men.
go. She's not really.
If you don't
a
think
bot,
that the Avenger movies are transhumanist,
no, she's not. She's not X-Men. She's an Avenger.
I'm sorry. Aren't Avengers X-Men?
No,
They're all the same thing. Avengers aren't DC, are they?
no, they're not. They're Marvel,
Right. X-Men's Marvel.
and Avengers are Marvel too.
Yeah. She's Black Widow, Marvel.
Yeah,
Enhanced.
Black Widow's not an android or a robot though.
She's an enhanced super soldier. She's enhanced.
Well, enhanced
like
super soldiers
Wolverine.
are a different topic.
In the Marvel universe, she is an enhanced super soldier spy.
Yeah,
Like Wolverine was.
Captain America.
Yeah, exactly. Captain America's another one. They're enhanced humans versus mutants.
But that's done through super serum or whatever. That's not done by. Now, if you want to talk about transhumanism, now let's go with Winter Soldier, because Winter Soldier has a mechanical arm.
Okay, there's a lot of things to unpack here. Okay, you've got the augmented human component, and if you look at in Winter Soldier and Bucky's situation, put it that way, he was an unwilling participant in that. He died, and they brought him back to life and made him into some kind of monster.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
he was frozen.
He flew off a train. The dude's dead.
Whatever. They didn't show him coming back to life. He was already like thought out and being put together. But I know what you mean.
You get it. But on top of that, there was that whole layer of mind control in the altars, and that the programming, the Manchurian Candidate thing, that was all like MK Ultra. I don't know if it was MK Ultra, whatever MK program it was. That's what that was really talking about. Then you've got the augmentation where they can give you a robot arm, right? But sorry, cough. Mosquito flew in my mouth.
Oh boy, I hate that.
Yeah, I know. So then you've got the augmented people who get the serums, who make them whatever, and then you've got the Elon Musk, Tony Stark character, who makes robot things that he can fly around in, right? I mean, those are all ideas of the future of transhumanism. It's just at different parts of the timeline. If you want to stretch out each one into its own little thing and think of it as the timeline of technological evolution of a transhumanistic future. You've got augmented humans, and you've got gene splicing, which gives you something, with radiation, you get the Hulk.
Right.
And I would go so far as to say that
radiation.
Gamma radiation, right. I would go so far as to say that if you look back to stories of places such as Atlantis, where there was stories of such things as genetic manipulation, making of chimeras, splicing animals with humans, and this is allegedly where a lot of the mythology of, say, like the Minotaurs came from, things like that. These were genetic experiments of whatever ancient civilization beat us to building a CRISPR, or actually got to the point to build a CRISPR, put it that way. But they took it even further.
Yeah.
So, that's where those kind of experiments go.
And you know what? I'm still getting into the cryptozoology world and research, but I have a theory that some of those cryptos are genetic experiments, like what you were just saying.
That's very possible. Escaped us.
Like I don't know about Bigfoot, but now they're talking about Dogman.
Yeah, Dogman. Well, I think Dogman's a tulpa. I think Mothman very well may be a tulpa. I think a lot of these like the things that wouldn't be a tulpa, like the skunk ape, things that have been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, they could be just very old tulpas. I don't think Bigfoot is a tulpa. I think that's a interdimensional being. It can just pop in and out when it wants. It likes it here, but people try and shoot it, so it says fuck you and leaves. Wouldn't you? If you went somewhere and people try to shoot you and then put it on TV?
If I had that ability, if I had the ability, I would.
Yeah, so would I. What, you're going to shoot me and then put it on TV? Fuck you, I'm out of here. And to think I was going to give you free energy.
Bigfoot was going to give us freaking 0.
How do we know? We tried to shoot him,
That's funny.
There is.
Hey, but you're right. He may have.
And the free energy's out there, and the plans for it are all over the internet. It's like counter-rotating electromagnetic fields making a vortex, and somehow there's a way to extract power out of that. I have no idea how to do it, but I mean, that's how it works, and it's out there. People just need to do it. Stop waiting for it.
Here's the thing about the AI, though, and I don't know how many of you want to agree with me on it, but it's definitely getting to a point where it's something that we really need to. I mean, you already said it. Singularity's already happened. I mean, I don't know if you said it exactly like that, but
I do really think it's happened, and I think the internet has become an intelligent organism in and of itself.
But now we're getting people like Bill Gates, Elon Musk, even Stephen Hawking saying that we need to really watch what we're doing because this is going to come back to bite us on the ass. Not in those exact words.
I completely agree.
But, supposedly they're, the head honchos of this shit, right?
Yeah, totally. But, what have they ever done before that turned out to be good or bad? They thought the Fed was a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Or dropping bombs, allegedly, in Nagasaki. It's all a good idea at the time, but in hindsight, nothing's really that cut and dry.
And here's the stupid part. So Elon Musk says that AI is not the best idea. He goes back and forth, because now he's saying Elon Musk, humans must merge with machines.
Can we go crazy yet? Is it late enough?
Sure, why not? We got
he's
20
in
minutes.
fact. So I personally am of the opinion that there is a mind virus that transfers from person to person, and I think people like that are influential like that can have like a stronger version of it that controls them, or maybe he might be controlled by a third party. Who knows? But he definitely changed his tune. Right? Yeah. He was like, we're in a simulation. AI is going to kill us. Everyone needs to merge with AI now.
Right? Right?
It's the brain slug from Futurama. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. I remember that shit. That's all funny.
Yes.
I love Futurama.
Don't you like my hat? Would you like to try it on?
That's hella funny.
There's truth in all that shit. You just have to figure out what's comedy. It's usually the comedy that's the truth, to be honest. The funniest things,
like what was that movie? Idiocracy.
Idiocracy, yeah. That was
real.
yeah.
That's what's happening right now.
I'm glad it wasn't a really popular movie. Otherwise, we'd be living that. But anyway, what I wanted to say about some of the brain slugs. I don't remember now. Damn it! I'll think of it.
That's right. I know you'll think of it, but. Yeah, I mean, look what's happening. I mean, Stephen Hawking saying that the singularity is going to wipe us out, and before he was all about that, and same thing with Bill Gates and all these other guys. And I don't know, man. I just think that
It's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, in some ways though, it may not. It's not like it's like you said. It's all how we use it, right? You know, in some ways, it's not bad.
Correct. It's how you use technology. But if there is some kind of intelligence that can travel outside of your phone into you, that's a problem.
Okay, so yeah, we've gotten to the point where we want to just go nuts. So, I mean, you talked a little bit about the mind virus, but I
Yeah.
really want to hear about the mind virus. I think people should really listen. Hear this.
Yeah, it's just a new take on an old story. It's basically the whole archontic uh, birth of Sophia. She birthed this infection, which affects. I think it's Yaldabaoth. I think I don't remember. It's the entity, the main archon that controls our realm, right? And a lot of people, including myself, think that this is an artificial intelligence, and it the infection manifests itself in people as uh, bad behavior, essentially things that people wouldn't do, like rape a little kid, or kill somebody for
Mhm.
a, a spirit, a deity that's going to make them more powerful. Things that people wouldn't normally do in this paradigm that is caused by this infection. And one of the main carriers of that, and you could think of it as a cage that keeps your brain from thinking outside of it, and which means you can't actually see that you're being influenced by it. So, and a lot of this is from religion. People who are really deeply religious aren't willing to accept any other explanation for things. So anything they hear or learn is going to be played through this infected filter, right? And turned into whatever that thing wants it to think.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And
And,
yeah,
I'm not
I can
saying
definitely see that too. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's like this quantum computer AI. It could be like a virus. A virus is an artificial intelligence to some degree. It's
Oh,
not going to make stock picks for you, but it sure knows how to fucking grow and make copies of itself and do all this stuff, right? So, somewhere in between quantum computer and virus is where I'm at.
and I'm glad you brought that up because I've been hearing a lot about quantum computers.
Yep, we all have. Wonder why.
You know, and yeah, and it's not the brand quantum computers. It's the actual quantum computing that
Mhm.
we are talking about. Um, I'm
Yeah,
not smart enough to
yes, you are. You just
be
don't know.
able to
You don't have.
bring it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I can't tell you exactly from memory what it is, but I can read it to you from the internet. The evil technology that we're using right now.
Right,
But
and you can pick through the bullshit. And I everything I've learned about everything except computer stuff that I've spoken about tonight, I've learned in the last 2 years. This isn't like a
right.
lifetime of knowledge. This is just stuff that I've researched myself.
Well,
So
yeah, and
anyone could do it. I almost flunked out of high school. Okay, I had to take junior English twice. I'm just a bad student, but I'm saying I'm not like a genius. So don't sell yourself short. You just don't have all the data.
I try. And but I need to try harder. Is what I'm saying. I think I'm doing okay. This was actually pretty awesome in my opinion. I liked what we just talked about tonight.
We're not done. Keep going.
And
You were talking about something that was cool.
so this is quantum computing, right? And
Yeah.
and in computer.howstuffworks.com, quantum dash computer. If you want to, I'll put the link up in there. It talks
I
about
got it. I got it.
the massive amount of processing power generated by computer manufacturers has not yet been able to quench our thirst for speed and computing capacity. In 1947, American computer engineer Howard Aiken said that just 6 electronic digital computers would satisfy the computing needs of the United States. Others have made similar errant predictions about the amount of computing power that would support our growing technological needs. Of course, Aiken didn't count on the large amounts of data generated by scientific research, the proliferation of personal computers, or the emergence of the internet, which have only fueled our need for more and more computing power. Will we ever have the amount of computing power we need or want? If, as Moore's law states, the number of transistors on a microprocessor continues to double every 18 months, the year 2020 or 2030 will find the circuits on a microprocessor measured on an atomic scale. And the logical next step will be to create quantum computers, which will harness the power of atoms and molecules to perform memory and processing tasks. Quantum computers have the potential to perform, I can't talk no more, certain calculations significantly faster than any silicon-based computer. Scientists have already built basic quantum computers that can perform certain calculations, but a practical quantum computer is still years away. You don't have to go back too far and find the origins of quantum computing. While computers have been around for majority of the 20th century, quantum computing was first theorized less than 30 years ago by a physicist at the Oregon National Laboratory. Long article. Again, I need to get my notes down a little shorter, but the basic point is quantum computing is going to be the next evolutionary step in computers and AI and everything else that goes with it, robots, all that stuff. Where it's talking about, being at an atomic level. That's cray.
Why? It's genius.
Well, I know. I mean, we already have nanobots, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we're taking it down even smaller, but more power.
You misunderstand the concept. What they're doing is using, say, individual molecules as the bit in the chip. So instead of flipping an electronic register on or off, you're spinning an atom in space, and its spin and its vector and its whatever they do, its direction guides its onness. If that makes any sense. It's like a variable. If you understand variables in programming.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you've got a variable for people who don't know is a programming construct that can hold a value for you to use later. So instead of having like a string that says the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog and having to type that over and over and over again because you were using that string in your program, you put it into a variable and just use the variable as the string in place of the string. And it's a programming construct. It's nothing fantastic. But yeah, that oh God, I took too long to explain it. That's what's involved. It's a variable. That it can hold more than just 0 and 1 now. It can hold infinite possible values.
And what I know is that it's the next step.
Mm-hmm. And these devices are called qubits, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is what we wanted. What you brought up that we should talk about.
Oh, I just brought up my crazy theory about it, but we can end with that.
Well, we could, but it's all good. What I want to stress is that it's not going to end. It's always going to be, something that's better, stronger, faster, that kind of shit. But it's also going to, in my opinion, it's going to do us in.
If we let it, yeah. Now, I'm reminded of, you know who Al Bielek is? From the Montauk? Okay.
Yeah, from Montauk, yeah.
Okay, have you listened to any of the stuff about him going into the future to that AI-run society? With the wingmakers, the whole thing about the wingmakers and...
If it wasn't in the Montauk, the movie with...
It wasn't.
Okay, so yeah, I didn't.
It wasn't
know that
Chris.
one. But I
It was
know
not
that
Chris.
he was. Yeah, it wasn't Chris Gaetano's. Yeah.
Right. No, it was not in the movie. This is way out there. One of the places. I don't know exactly what happened. I think he split into like two people, right, when he jumped or something like that. And one of him went somewhere, and then another one went to another place because he has two memories of being in. I think that was the story. It doesn't matter. One of the places was a future. I want to say it was like 30. It was in the 3000s or maybe 2700. It was far in the future, and it was an AI run society. And it was a peaceful, pleasant place. It was oppressive and fascist to people like us, but the people who lived there loved it. And you weren't forced to live there. You could go live on your own out in the woods or something or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But he definitely talked about that as a future. And these things, I really review them as possible timelines. Those are possible trajectories. If we stayed on a certain path and everyone makes, the decisions in the right way, we may end up in that future. If people keep believing that Nibiru is going to come here and destroy the planet, then we might be stuck on that timeline.
Ooh.
I think it's the same kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it is.
When you said timeline, it just timeline.
Who's messing with our timeline?
Somebody's messing with our timeline. But here's the deal. What I wanted to bring up. What I wanted to bring up. What did James say? The Flash 2.0, right?
The flat. I think he meant the flat Earth.
I don't know. There's stories in the Flash series right now where there's Earth 1, Earth 2, Earth 3. There's different Earths and there's different timelines, but maybe
right.
know,
and there's also New Agers. There's also New Agers out there talking about that they're there waiting for you, and the ships are going to come pick you up. By the way, do not get any ships, people.
Yeah, I can't see how that's going to end well, but
okay, Flash. Oh yeah, so yeah, the 5D crystalline universe Earth. Apparently, that is a real thing, and people can go there, but it's still AI run, so you're not free. You're not sovereign. Whatever that means.
But is it better for you?
It will seem better until you die, yeah.
Right. See, there you go. Do you want to trade in, living in a utopia for your freedom?
The thing is, though, if you do go there, you're going to be trapped in that soul recycling engine.
Oh, right. Yes, I've heard this. Right.
Yeah,
I heard that theory.
So you're still trapped. You're going to have a brand new net to break through. Good fucking luck.
All right. So on that note, I knew that there was way too much to get into on this topic. Of course we can't get it into 2 hours. But we'll definitely continue this another time. But I want to let everyone know that's listening that I'll be doing this from time to time. Jerry may or may not join us, but I'm sure we'll have roundtables and we'll get into all this. If anyone's interested and you want to contact me, just write to me at dave@beyondthestrange.com for any kind of topics or roundtables that you guys want to discuss, or if you want to be on the hangouts with me and Jerry and talk about these topics, that's something that we can explore. But what I wanted to mention when you said timeline was we all know that Chris Cornell passed away.
Yeah.
And that's pretty heavy. Today, Greg Allman passed away.
Yep.
And that's tragic in its own right as well.
And Brzezinski, rather. Zbigniew Brzezinski died today too, at the age of 89. And I gotta laugh. I'm sorry. The Illuminati folks are already saying it was a sacrifice to keep Henry Kissinger alive.
Maybe. I think it's to keep Keith Richards alive, but that's another point. but what I wanted to say about the timeline thing, and you can go and check out the YouTube video. It's the Dark Matter series with Art Bell on Sirius Radio, and this was, I believe, October 10th. 2013. He did an open lines. I think it was the only open lines segment that he did with the Dark Matter series. But they're in the middle. I think it's like an hour and 40 minutes or something like that. He talks to a gentleman by the name of Florida Jim. I want to get this guy. I need to talk to this guy because he said that him and a group of people, back when they were talking about John Teeter invited them to email him, and that he was going to go back from 2000 when they did this to email him, and he would email him back from 1998. I don't understand that concept. Maybe we can get into that another time. But after he did that, his timeline was getting altered. All these weird things were happening. He knew there was a vacant lot. The next day there was like a full functioning Walgreens and shit, stuff like that. And in his timeline, and this was before Nelson Mandela passed away that year, he had mentioned in his timeline Nelson Mandela had died. Not only did Nelson Mandela die, but Chris Cornell died. And it wasn't the same. It is very interesting, because those two people that he brought up did end up dying. Now, of course, we can say, of course they're going to die. So, anything can happen.
4 out of 5 dentists agree that 10 out of 10 people die.
And my point is there something to this John Teeter timeline thing? I don't know. Another topic for another show. But it was just really interesting and just bizarre how that came about. Anyways, we probably better end this, Jerry.
No, you can't leave that out there and not let me talk about it.
But
because that's more classic Mandela effect types, but also
you got to listen to it, man.
I think I linked the right October 2013. You said
no, October 10th. I think it's his only open line show. Is
a dude named Jim Sparks?
Nope, it's a name. He goes by Florida Jim.
Never mind that link I put in the chat. I'll find it. You could put it in the show notes later.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I'm probably embed it on Beyond the Strange. So if you guys want to go and check it out, later, I'll have it posted up in there. But yeah, it's a trip, man. It's an hour and 40 minutes into the show.
Did I tell you about my little personal Mandela effect? I think that was last night's hangout. I don't remember. I was taught to spell a word a certain way throughout my whole life, and I spelled it that way until like 2003 or 4, and then it was no longer the proper spelling. And the word I learned to spell is dilemma, and the way I was taught to spell it was Dilemna, like that. Put it in the chat. And in 2003 or 4, it changed to this. N was gone. It was double M now. Okay.
Yeah, I've heard that happen.
That was my first notice of things changed in the timeline. Secondly, to your point of people finding shit changed in their local reality bubble, as I'll put it, yeah, that happens. That's a glitch, and keep an eye on those. There's 2 people on YouTube we talk about. One person I know of talks about it is Danny Harrison, I think is her name. She's on Facebook. Her channel, there used to be a channel called Breaking the Shackles. I think they have separate channels now on YouTube. Creating Berenstein Bear thing. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't remember what it was called.
Yeah,
but I think a lot of what
Casper.
The Mandela effect is poor. No, it's cool. I don't have to go anywhere. If you're the one, if you need to go, that's different. I was just going to say that I think a lot of that is misremembering, but there's a lot of it that's weird, like C-3PO having silver leg. Never saw that before. And I know Star Wars, that's like one that gets me. There's a ton. Do you know what I'm talking about, Dave?
Yeah, he had the silver leg in not in the first one though. I think it was the second one, wasn't it?
But now he does in the first one. No, he never had a silver leg. It was always gold.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, now it's silver from the shin down. It's actually a very Freemason kind of thing. It's a Freemason symbol, that the one pant leg down kind of thing, which is a whole separate issue.
when I noticed that was in the what was it, the chapter 1 or whatever they call it, the one the new one that episode 1, right?
Yeah.
That's where I saw that he had, I thought maybe they fixed them, and that's weird. He never, yeah, you're right. He never had silver parts. He was always all gold.
Yes. Now, I can explain it. I don't know if it's true or not. That if you remember that Lucas remastered all the original Star Wars movies.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So everything was re-released on DVD, all cleaned up, all CGI. The explosions actually look like real explosions. It's very possible that it could have been done there.
But what if somebody has an old VHS tape and they play it, and there you go, a silver leg.
No one has come across with one. If I would love to see it.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing, this is what the problem with the Mandela effect. Either you don't have proof because it happened and the timeline changed, or you just remembered it wrong. But we can't prove they remembered it wrong, and they aren't from another timeline. See, it's nonsense. It's a paradox.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. So, anyways, hey, Jerry, thanks again for coming on. And,
anytime, dude. I will be on anytime you ask.
And I think we need to do a Fringe show.
Oh yeah, totally.
Everything about the series, the show, not about the Fringe, but the show Fringe.
TV show Fringe.
From the TV show Fringe that was on Fox, because
it is disclosure.
It totally is, and I'm sorry. I loved that the X-Files came back last year, but I think it was total bullshit. I just didn't like the way they did it.
It was soft disclosure wrapped in, fear mongering.
It wasn't disclosure; it was disinformation. But
what did they say that wasn't true?
They just, anyways, like I said, I feel that everything that they said was just, they were trying to feed into the tinfoil hat people, and I'm sorry,
they were feeding the Roswell,
say it like that, but
they were feeding the Roswell nuts and bolts crowd. And the Illuminati conspiracy folks. That's the way I felt it was. There's really aliens, and we're in cahoots with them, and the government's, slowly killing you off because of the aliens.
Well, and the thing is if we're really getting vaccinated with, alien DNA, then we're all fucked. How about that?
I don't believe that there are any aliens. Zero.
No, that's why I said it.
I don't fucking believe space exists, okay? That's where I'm at right now. I see zero evidence of space being real. All I see is CGI. Same for aliens, okay? I'm not saying that there isn't other shit here, but I don't think they're coming from above. If they're, they're coming in interdimensionally or something. And they're I don't know if that's, what someone would call, quote unquote, alien. Yeah, they're holographic projections, right, Feld? You got it.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up.
Yeah, we're saying goodbye. We'll talk all night. Anyway, thank you, Dave, for having me. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you like to hear crazy shit. Goodbye.
Yeah, subscribe to Jerry's, and please subscribe to mine so you guys can know when we do another show. It'll pop up and tell you. It'll give you all the details. Subscribe and put on the alerts. That's what I wanted to say. So thanks again, everyone. We'll talk to y'all soon. I'll see y'all in the Twitter or Facebook. You can find me at Strange Days 2015 on Twitter, and Dave Cruz on Facebook, or Beyond the Strange on Facebook. So until then, everyone have a great night. Have a great weekend. Memorial Day weekend, that is, holiday. And we'll see you next time. Until then, be safe, be happy. Don't be a stranger, just be strange. Hasta.